Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. I was kind of just intrigued to do this video based on my fascination of brands and how they run their businesses and the different practices that they employ, particularly when it comes to compelling consumers to spend more of their money. What practices and what methods do brands, big and small, employ to make sure that you and I spend more of our money on them? And this is something that has piqued my curiosity for quite a bit, and as a result I have compiled quite a list of methods that I think brands are using to incite you to spend more of your money on those brands. Now, it is totally fine that brands do this. I don't want to make this into a negative video. I just feel a lot of times looking at ads and seeing the business side of things and just examining brands from a business perspective is really fascinating to me. So this entire topic is coming from a place of intense curiosity, which is why I'm making this video. These are all theories that I have come up with, but I'm quite sure that they're very valid theories because I see them being used all the time, and I see a lot of people, including myself, succumbing to those theories. And I don't think that there is much sense in trying to deny the fact that our world is run on consumerism. This industry and every industry is run on people spending money, and businesses, in order to function, in order to do what they do have to make sure that they are making a profit. I feel like this is an interesting video and yet still a very useful video, because if you're watching, then you probably, like me, have a fascination with makeup, and I feel like it's very important to make sure that we are aware of these practices that brands are using so we can go forward and make wiser purchases and wiser decisions with our own money. So without further ado, let's just get into the first thing, the first way that brands, in my opinion, make you spend more money, and that is by promoting sales. Every brand is always having a sale. I feel like it is beneficial for the brands to deny this, but every single brand has a sale more often than they would like you to think. ColourPop comes to mind almost immediately, and then so many other brands from drugstores, so many other brands that are on Beauty Bay, Ulta, Sephora. They mark down certain products all the time. You have the Sephora VIB sale twice a year. You have the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. Brands are always having sales. Brands are always pushing discount codes. You have Black Friday, which of course can warrant a huge other video in itself, but yes, you have sales going on all the time. So what does this do? This basically makes our little human mind come into the theory that because something is on sale, we need to get it. Because it's on sale, we as consumers will benefit from possessing the item at a discount. So this little bit of thinking, what it does is that it incites you to almost buy more things than you would full price. You see all those huge hauls that people make with the Sephora VIB sales. People buy obscene amounts of product. I like watching those videos because I love seeing all the makeup, and I love seeing how happy these girls and boys are with their makeup purchases. However, you have to realize that these people, I highly doubt that these people would buy these items full price. And you also have to remember that these items are being bought on a 10%, 15%, maybe 20% discount. If you're looking at the math of everything, is 10% really that big of a difference? No, it's not. So a brand who basically spent less money actually manufacturing a product and later sells it for a higher price is still making a profit. And because of all these sales, and because the consumer is basically fooled into buying more things than they usually would, brands are able to make more money from these sales. It's just a really interesting mentality, and it's kind of scary when you think about it, just how easily the human mind can be manipulated in this way. But yeah, I mean, we see a sale and we see products that we absolutely love the looks of and we really want them so badly, and we see any kind of sale, and then we basically find it so easy to persuade ourselves that this is going to be beneficial for us. So what happens is that we go out, we spend however much money we're spending, and we buy all those items. The brand benefits, the company who is selling the product benefits, because they are making money off of the consumer. And I feel like whenever you're shopping a sale, it's very important to sort of sit back and just actually think, would you buy this item full priced? And if the answer is no, then there's no need for you to buy it at the sale, because chances are you actually don't want it that badly. I think that sales are amazing. I buy most of my makeup on sale. And I actually like to have like a little bit of a mental or even tangible wish list in which I have like several different products that I really want. And if I get like an email or if I see something on Instagram saying that that brand is on sale, then I will utilize that chance to go to that brand and get that product at a discount, but I won't really buy anything extra. I will make sure that I'm only purchasing items that I genuinely do want and that I would buy if it was full priced, and that I'm planning to buy if it was full priced. I feel like there's nothing wrong in wanting something and then waiting around for a sale, especially for those brands like, for example, ColourPop and certain brands in Sephora. I'm mentioning ColourPop. I mean, I love ColourPop. I'm wearing a lot of ColourPop on my face right now, but I'm mentioning ColourPop because ColourPop is one of those brands that has sales the most often, okay? So that's why I'm mentioning their name all the time. I love the brand, I have nothing against them. But every time ColourPop has a lot of sales, it's very easy to get sucked into the idea that if you buy more, you save more, therefore you're justifying buying more, when in reality ColourPop is gonna make money. ColourPop is going to make money off of you with that mentality, because if you buy more things that you never actually really wanted, that you just think you want in that moment, then they're going to make money off of you. And that's kind of going into my next point. A lot of brands love to promote the idea that there's only a limited supply available of a certain product in order for you to buy more of it. It increases demand in that way. We have seen this with so many different brands. Kylie Cosmetics comes to mind. Too Faced comes to mind. Remember when the Peach palette launched? You couldn't get that thing like anywhere, because what Too Faced did is that they basically sent very limited stocks to to pretty much every single Sephora in the United States and every single Ulta from what I can remember. And they sent very limited stock, okay? And you would go to the store, you'd try and buy the Peach palette, and it would be gone. And then you had like this crazy desire to buy the palette because you simply could not get it. So many other people couldn't get it. This palette was magnified to be like this cult product that only a few exclusive people could get. And that heightened the desirability of it. And it's a similar thing with Kylie Cosmetics. When Kylie Cosmetics first launched, they would sell out all the time, and then they would restock in like a few days. I don't really know much about running a company. I don't really know much about running a makeup brand, but I doubt that it takes a few days to completely restock an entire slew of product. So I'm pretty sure what Kylie Cosmetics did, as did Too Faced, is that they basically had a full inventory of products that they would release little by little in order to heighten demand and to make a larger profit. When you look at it from a business standpoint, it's actually such like an amazingly cool idea that you can have limited stock and limited quantity of items whilst still having a pretty big amount of those items like on the down low, and then you can just release the items and you can have them sell out really quickly, and then you're magically able to produce another load of items that also sell out really quickly. And this just works to promote the sense of exclusivity. I think that so many people, myself included, We want to basically be part of that exclusive club in life. You know, you want to be that person that has like a specific item. You want to be that person let in to like that exclusive party, you know? Like maybe not for everybody, but I feel like everybody wants to feel special in a certain like area of life. And since we humans just desire that so much, a lot of times it is reflected in tangible things like things that we buy, either makeup, beauty products, or anything else. You know, like when we want that coveted thing, we want that coveted item that everybody else desires because it makes us feel special. And brands are able to capitalize on this feeling, and really, it's kind of really cool how they're doing that. But at the same time, unless you yourself own a business and a makeup brand, it is not really cool if you're being duped by it, you know? It's cool if you're actually the one doing the marketing for that, but if you're the consumer, you don't want to be duped like that because essentially you're just spending your own hard-earned money on this like scheme, like on this marketing scheme. I'm getting a little bit ranty with this video, I know, but there's so many different points I want to make, so many like just little nuances that I want to share with you guys. So the sound in this video has been like really off because I just realized that my mic was unplugged, so if the sound has been weird, I hope that it's back to normal. But anyway, moving on to my next point. PR is in itself a video topic that is, I think I've done like a video on PR already. I'd love to do another one where I talk about some more things. But PR is something that a lot of people love to hate, a lot of people love to love. You know, it's like just a very polarizing topic for a lot of people. But I want to talk about it in this video because I feel like brands promote PR and brands basically make like these beautiful PR boxes because they want influencers to post about it, and also because they want to promote this like FOMO feeling, like this fear of missing out. You want to be that person that has that makeup product. You want to be that person that's watching that thing. You want to be that person with the PR package. So brands are catching on to this, and because of this, they are selling PR boxes. They're selling PR packages for a higher price. Anastasia Beverly Hills does this. Of course, we know that the Anastasia Beverly Hills PR list is a very, very covetable place to be. ColourPop does this. A lot of other indie brands do this, but this is nothing new. Well, this is a little bit of a newer thing, but this is something that has been going on for quite a bit now. A lot of brands are selling these PR packages because in a way, they realize that the person that is watching that influencer unbox that certain PR box, they want to be that influencer. They want to have that possession. They want to have that luxury of being like this exclusive person that is unboxing this like beautiful PR box. A lot of people want to have that experience, and a lot of people are willing to pay money to have that experience. So yeah, PR is another great way for brands to market themselves and for brands to increase a level of desirability. Next up is a little bit of a smaller point that I've noticed a lot whenever I do Will I Buy It videos. I've mentioned this in a few of my palette redesigns, I think, but I've never actually like delved into this particular point that I want to make right now. I think that I have a theory. I have a theory that a lot of brands try and make the packaging of certain items more appealing in order to increase sales. And yes, I know that that's very basic, but I'm talking specifically, for example, about eyeshadow palettes. You ever see, well, you've probably seen this before, but just like think of an eyeshadow palette in which the marketing for that eyeshadow palette is like a very bright, very like colorful color, right? And the entire like palette is done up in that color or like that selection of colors. The shadows within that certain palette might not be anything special, but the packaging of that palette, the background color, if you will, of that palette is a certain color that is meant to draw the eye. I'm going to give an example here of Zoella's brunch palette. I did a palette redesign on it. I talked about that collaboration at length in another video, so I'll put it in the cards. But that palette had a yellow background for the palette packaging for the shadows. I know making no sense, but hopefully you can see what I mean in this graphic. But that palette had a yellow background for the shadows. The shadows themselves, they were pretty neutral browns. I don't think that there was a yellow present in that palette whatsoever. But the palette itself, the packaging of the palette, was meant to draw the eye. Another example is the Tarteist Pro Remix palette, which is a palette that I also redesigned. That palette, okay, that palette had some seriously like just really fun colorful splatters, but if you actually take those splatters and you desaturate them, or you just like, I don't know, make them disappear in Photoshop, which I may or may not do whenever I edit this video so you can see what I mean, there is nothing special really in the eyeshadows, or at the very least, the shadows don't seem as special as they were when you saw the whole picture. I'm going to include a variety of other different palettes that you may or may not recognize that have used this strategy to, in a way, frame the product inside as more desirable. It's like, I definitely feel like we as humans are attracted to certain colors. We're attracted to something different. Whenever we walk into a store, or whenever we walk into a Sephora, Ulta, etc., we are not necessarily going to be attracted straight away to the more mundane packaging, to the more mundane colors in the store. We probably, like most of us, will be attracted, or our eye will be drawn to the brighter colors, the more fun graphics, right? We may or may not buy that item, but our eye is immediately drawn to that. So if brands are trying to release something that, for instance, everyone has done before, for example, a neutral eyeshadow palette, they're going to try and market that neutral eyeshadow palette as being the most interesting, the most like out of the box, the most extraordinary neutral palette you've ever seen in your life. So they're going to do that with packaging. And that's just like a very interesting thing to me. Like, I have spoken many times about how I wish certain brands would actually make the packaging as interesting as the colors inside, but a lot of brands are not going to do that for their own reasons. I may or may not agree with those reasons, but my point is, yeah, brands do that, in my opinion, so they can increase sales. Another thing is basically marketing one single ingredient within a formula or within a product as larger than life. And what that means is, there, like skincare brands and like makeup brands that release a product and they have like one ingredient, and you look on the ingredient list and that ingredient can be at the bottom of the ingredient list, which means that there literally is a very low percentage of that ingredient within the actual formula. But what the brand will do is that they will take that ingredient, they will capitalize on like the exotic sounding name, or they'll capitalize off the feeling of luxury that this ingredient might inspire, and they make the entire marketing campaign about the magic of this one ingredient, regardless of whether or not this ingredient is actually effective or not. And this is a marketing ploy that a lot of brands like to do. I think that this is more present in a lot of skincare, and I will be the first to say that I'm not very well versed in skincare, so I can't really speak about ingredients, but a lot of times, if somebody is not very informed, they can be duped by this very pointed marketing to basically think that this ingredient, this item within a formula is more effective than it actually is. That it makes this product truly unique and different from anything else on the market. Another thing that I see a lot of brands doing, and this is a little bit to a lesser extent, but still it's quite visible, and I've actually seen it increase in recent years, the idea of using gold in an actual product. Like, have you seen like that spray? I feel like it's from Versailles. It has like 24 karat gold flakes in it. I doubt that gold does anything significant to your face or to anything that you're spraying it on, okay? Your skin is not going to turn into like the most like youthful, supple like looking skin just because of the gold. Versailles knows this. They're not stupid, but they do know that the addition of gold into the product makes it a little bit more unique, makes it a little bit more luxurious. So they're able to get away with marking the product up in price, and they're also able to market the product as being truly unique. I'm not speaking as to the quality or whether or not this product actually works. I have heard many great things about this product, but I haven't actually tried it myself. I'm just saying that a lot of people look at a product like that and they're like, it's gold. I want it now, you know? That's just like, that's the magic of marketing. It's really interesting to look at whenever you like look at it from like a marketing, from like a business perspective. It's kind of fascinating and you're like, wow, they really do that, you know? Like, and I mean, you can't really blame the brands for doing that because it is a business. They have to make money, they have to grow. But as consumers and as customers, we need to be aware of this. But that is the end. But I'm just going to end this video right here. I've already spoken for a very long time, and I feel like you guys have like gleaned a lot of useful information from this video. I certainly hope that you have. Let me know what you thought of the points I made in this video. Have you recognized any of these tactics yourself? Have you found yourself duped by them? I personally have definitely found myself duped by the packaging and certain things, even though I try not to be. I've also found myself duped by the exclusive thing. A lot of times I have found myself willing to buy something if it's on sale or buy something if it gets sold out really quickly, more so than I would be if it just simply wasn't, you know? So I have been duped by a lot of these practices myself, which makes me even more determined to sort of like know what I'm doing in future and sort of like be on the lookout for this. I love makeup, I love buying makeup. At the same time, I don't want to let these brands take too much of my money because I want to make sure that I am able to retain control of myself and my habits whenever it comes to spending money on anything. And I want to make sure that I know about these marketing strategies that brands are making, not only because it's fascinating to look at, but also because these marketing strategies are directed right at me and you. You know, like we're supposed to succumb to these strategies. We're supposed to basically play by the brand's tune, when in reality, we don't really have to. We just have to be a little bit more aware of what we're doing. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this was entertaining to you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.